Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 109th episode of Dragon Quest Slime Time, a Dragon's Den podcast. This is one of your hosts, Pendy.
And this is Platty M3.
Today, we welcome AustNerevar, Jay, and Yangus to discuss predictions for Final Fantasy Day.
Yay!
Final Fantasy Day.
Have you been chucking too many X potions?
Oh, Final Fantasy? Ugh, yuck. I didn't sign up for this.
Oh, right. Dragon Quest Day. That's what I meant. No chocobos and moogles today. I'm sorry.
Well, good. I hear those things aren't very hygienic anyway.
On that note, let's clean up our act and talk about Dragon Quest instead.
For those not in the know, Dragon Quest Day is every May 27th.
It's that day because it commemorates the release of Dragon Quest I in Japan back in 1986.
Usually, Square Enix makes some sort of announcement related to the series on this anniversary day.
So we're here to make our predictions, wishes, speculations, wild shots in the dark.
With that, let's start with our predictions. So for me, honestly, I don't think there will be much for international fans in terms of announcements. I think the biggest announcement that will affect everyone is that they'll give us a specific release date finally for Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D remake. When they released that big trailer for the game back at that recent Nintendo Direct, I believe they held back on saying the release date to save it for Dragon Quest Day. Beyond that, there probably will be some special events they'll announce for Dragon Quest X and the mobile games such as Walk and Tact and Stars, and usually they announce some new merchandise on this day as well. So I think that's about all they're going to do personally. What about you, Platty? What do you think?
All right, so, I agree with you on all the Japan-related stuff. I think that they'll get all that stuff. I think for us in the West, we will get that release date for Dragon Quest 1 and 2. And I'm actually thinking that they might go ahead and tell us what is going to be special about these versions. We already know, we're 99% sure we're getting the Princess of Kanak as a party member or some sort of major plot event in Dragon Quest 2. Not 100% sure that she'll be a party member yet, but maybe she'll tag along or run something that you have to interact with. She'll be a part of it. And I'm 99, in my own heart, I'm 99% sure they're doing something different for Dragon Quest 1. It's not going to be a straight up, hey, we made a 2D HD port. It's going to be, they're going to add something. We got the monster collecting in 3. We got Princess of Kanak in 2. I want them, and I think they might tell us why you want to buy this in 1 as well. Be like,
that would make sense because they were very mysterious about showing much of 1 in that trailer. So.
Yeah, they only showed it for about maybe 15, 20 seconds worth of even that, and most of it was focused on 2.
Yep.
So, whether it's, and we talked about this, I think back in January or something, maybe they have a party member you can recruit or pay, or a monster that you can bring along with you, or, like Healy in Ragnar's chapter, just something different. And it doesn't even have to be that. It just, there's got to be something a little bit different for that. Add a new town, throw in one more item you got to collect. Erdrick's pants. I don't know.
The mighty Erdrick pants.
Yes, it keeps my ass from catching fire when
it's the legendary Loto Bloomers.
There you go. See, just even that, and just one other town. Maybe it's oh hey, we just realized there's a little island over there that we didn't see before, and maybe it connects to just a tiny bit of the Dragon Quest II world map.
Oh yeah, because you could even have it where at the end of the game where he sets off to go find some new lands with the princess, until maybe they have a little post game thing where it's they found something, and then it kind of leads into how they started making the kingdoms and 2, and so kind of like an interlude sort of thing.
You know what? I never thought of that. That would be a really good way. You don't have to play with any of the mechanics of the original game. All the original game's there, but then you get 5 more hours of town building with your new wife.
It'll be a surprise version of Civilization, Dragon Quest style.
There you go.
I hope that oh god, what's his name? The guy that Gandhi doesn't show up and suddenly want to start throwing nukes at you. If we're gonna be playing Civ.
Nuclear war.
He's the true final boss.
So, no, other than that, other than stuff about DQ1 and 2, I think the most we'll get is an image of the Dragon Quest 12 hero, maybe the party. I don't think they'll give us a hint of gameplay about that. Still, I think they'll be, in my heart of heart, I really feel like it'll just be we're still working on it. We'll have more to show you later. But I mean, maybe 4 years down the road here, we've got a picture that they can show us. Who knows? But that's it. I don't think they're gonna. I don't think there'll be anything new for the West.
We're either going to get a picture, a concept art of the main protagonist, or it's oh, by the way, the game's almost done. He was everything.
I mean, they did do that for Monsters. They're
It's
oh, hey,
true.
by the way.
Surprise.
Bouncing back to Dragon Quest One, what if they do something where it's like when you say you'll join the Dragon Lord, they like
I
have
was
like
gonna
an
say maybe
extended
it's just builders built
storyline
right into
of
it.
that feeds
I was
into
gonna
builders?
say that'd be the best twist. It just suddenly cuts to like an HD 2D version of Builders.
That would be cool.
That'd be hilarious. It just suddenly totally different game. That's part of the collection didn't know about.
They gotta do something. It's Dragon Quest One.
Well, Jay, what else do you think they might do?
So realistic stuff.
Mhm.
I think they're gonna have like a whole section dedicated to their mobile games, like you guys said. Tact and Stars already teased events that are going to be happening, and I think they're also going to unveil a new mobile game. I don't know what it might be, but it's going to be a new mobile game.
That would honestly surprise me because they've closed down a whole bunch recently. Champions did not do well at all, along with that die game. So if they do, I'd honestly be shocked because they do have 3 games going on right now, and at least I know at least with Walk, super successful.
Right, Walk is still going strong. Stars is still going strong. Tact is still going strong. So it's like, how do I want to word this? They also like announced Keshi at DQ Day last time, so maybe.
And then subsequently launched it and canceled it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not bring up bad memories.
Sorry, Liam.
Yeah. They said they were going to bring it to the West, and then
And then they
Joe thinks that we're going to get it on Switch 2 in some capacity now. The Switch has mouse controls.
Okay.
I really wanted Keshi, but maybe we'll get another mobile match 3 game.
Joe also thinks that we're going to see 4, 5, and 6 in some capacity.
Please.
Possibly HD 2D remakes of those as well, seeing as 3 did so good. That's it for my realistic stuff. The rest is all kind of crazy.
Jay, you had one other thing, and I think I'm sure you're 100% right on these. See what else you wrote down?
Oh yeah. I think they're gonna mention Toriyama and Sugiyama and what's gonna be what's gonna be happening with the series now that they've passed away.
Oh yeah.
Because like this kind of is the first big conference since that's happened.
Yeah. So since Toriyama just passed away last year.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll announce any like successors.
But with Toriyama, it's weird because like he already had Bird Studio kind of self-sufficient. Like he was kind of just approving stuff at that point.
Yeah, I mean the artist for Dragon Ball Super was really good, so I don't see it being that difficult, for Dragon Quest continue, without him as far as art design.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be someone from Bird Studio, but I mean, there's going to be like some main person that they'll name as like, hey, he's the lead designer for characters and monsters and stuff like that, even though it will be a team effort as it has been in the past.
The music's a lot trickier, though.
That's the one I'm the most curious about because are they gonna I think that Sugiyama had a protege as well, but are they gonna keep with that? Are they gonna bring in like another big Square Enix composer to do some songs? Like what's it gonna be going forward here?
Yeah.
Didn't Sugiyama have a son that was also doing this, or was that somebody else?
That I don't know, but I know he had a protege that he was training and was under his wing. I don't know about a child though.
No, I don't think there was any kids that were doing the same thing that he was doing.
Maybe I'm thinking of someone else.
So, Aust, what are your predictions?
Well, I also think we'll get more mobile games, but didn't want to repeat everyone. I mean, it's obvious they've got to say something about Dragon Quest 12. They're not going to do it without even mentioning it. Even if they don't really give us anything, they've got to at least say, "Hey, we're still working on Dragon Quest 12." If this were a decade ago, I would say, "Oh, they're going to give us a bunch of information about it." But I don't know. Development in Dragon Quest land has been sort of sluggish this decade. At least it seems to be. So I don't really know how much information we're going to get there. But if I had to predict, I would say that I know somebody. I know we might probably get like a teaser at least. But if I'm going to make a prediction, I think they're going to give us our first trailer because gosh, they announced that in 2021, right?
4 years ago. Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, it's time because when was 11 announced? That was like what 2013. 14?
Oh, when it was actually announced? Oh, I don't remember.
Oh boy.
It was announced in like as of the 25th anniversary because it's in that art book.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it wasn't an absurd amount of time for 11 between announcement and our first substantial glimpses of gameplay. Yeah, I think that's really all I've got. It's hard not to talk about mobile games because that's sort of been, that it seems that's where most of the releases have been. I feel like in the past 5 or 6 years, even though so many of them have closed down already.
So I just double checked, and this art book had early glimpses of 11. It came out in 2016, and then 11 released in 2017.
Okay, so it was announced later than I thought.
That might not be when it was first announced. That's just when this art book came out.
It was like either late 2014 or like early 2015 when we got like that first cinematic trailer for the game, and it showed off the characters and the party member. It's basically the opening cutscene that you see when you first boot the game up. And of course, everybody's like speculating, like, who's going to be the party members? What's going to happen here? Why is this happening? But I want to say it was like 2015 at the earliest that we got that, because the game came out in 2017 in Japan. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, then we got it 2018. Anyway.
So what about your predictions, Yangus?
Well, kind of piggybacking off some of the things you guys have said, but I'm thinking we're going to see some stuff for Dragon Quest 1 and 2 HD 2D. I'm hoping, like kind of what Platty was saying, hoping they show up a little bit more about what one's going to have, kind of new stuff they're bringing to the table. Hopefully we're going to find out some more info about like when it's going to be coming out, or what I'm curious about too is if they're going to say if there's going to be any sort of like save data bonus kind of stuff. Like if you have played 3 HD 2D, is there going to be some sort of like little bonus thing where it's like, oh, hey, you have save data from this game, so now you're going to get just like this little fun bonus item or something like that. Anyway, I'm going to guess that there's going to be maybe a new mobile game or two, or at the least they're going to just talk about new events coming to the mobile games that are still going on over there. Since these games kind of come and go unless you're certain ones, I'm going to guess maybe they're going to have a new one coming out to like fill the void for the ones that have been kiboshed. I'm wondering if, since the Switch 2 is, going to be so close to release, just a few days after this event on the 27th, if they're going to have some news for like Switch 2 versions of, of any of these previous Dragon Quest games that released on the Switch, or if there's going to be like the upgrade thing where if you have a Switch copy, you can still play it on your Switch 2. You can do this little upgrade to like, improve the frame rate or something like that. And then maybe we'll see a teaser for Dragon Quest 12 of some kind. I'm going to guess it's probably just going to be like maybe a short trailer with maybe just the hero popping up, maybe a party member or two, but I'm going to guess they're going to be still pretty vague on that one. But maybe we'll get a little taste to be like, all right, you guys waited like 4 years for any sort of news, so here's a little something for you.
And that does make sense if they were to announce, oh, hey, for the Switch 2, you can upgrade Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D Remake, since it's a semi-recent release within the past year, along with like a release date announcement for 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm. And hey, maybe they'll, maybe for Switch 2, maybe they'll go as far as to be like, okay, well, we're going to do a special release. I'm going to guess if they did, it'd be like on an online store only thing, but like, oh, you can get, it has 1, 2, and 3, all together in one case. Maybe not all in one cart, but just it's all together for Switch 2. So that way then you can get that. But that's just kind of speculation again. So
I mean, they did do that for Dragon Quest Heroes. They had that 1 and 2 compilation that they did. So not out of the realm of possibility for that.
I could see them doing that for the Switch 2 just because it's going to be new. And some people might be like, oh, we might want to get a game for that. And they'd be like, hey, we got the perfect game for you. And it's actually 3 of them.
Games? We have games.
We got 3 RPGs for you right here.
Nintendo Switch 2 has games.
Content is content. All right. Now, all those were mostly our more reasonable predictions. But what do you wish they would announce or show this upcoming Dragon Quest Day? For example, I wish that we get a Dragon Quest 12. We see the party members. Cool. That's coming out. Show us 2026. Obviously, 12 ain't getting Shadow Drop this year, or not even 6 months down the road. I don't think they give us just that short a notice, especially because like there's even like Ori notices this week. Like we're still working on it. It's still going. Okay. Those are getting old, but we know you're working on it. Gotcha. I would love for them to show the party, show the Dragon Quest 12 people, and then at the same time, and then play them the following year in big old Heroes 3. That's what I want. Dragon Quest Heroes 3. Give me the Dragon Quest 11 people, the Dragon Quest 12 people, and hits from our yesteryears as well. Not Maribel, that bitch. That is my wish. No Maribel, but other heroes.
Yeah, I do miss the Heroes game.
It's almost been 10 years now, or maybe 8.
Heroes 3 would be nice. Builders 3 would be nice. What I think it might actually be somewhat reasonable is on Switch 2, they make an expansion or upgrade, whatever you want to call it, for Dark Prince. Adds a new little story section, adds about 100 monsters.
Make it run a little smoother.
Yeah, make it run a little smoother, maybe pretty up the graphics a little bit, because they released it on Steam not too long ago, so they're still thinking about it. So it's like, and a whole bunch of other games, like you said, are getting. It's like, I think they're also going to give us some sort of brand new spin-off that we've never seen before, could potentially never even.
How did I forget about that? Yes, I want that too. I want something new. Give me something new as well. It's been a while since we've had something new. I guess Treasures, but screw that.
Treasures came out a while ago already.
I know. Treasures is a while enough. Don't give me Treasures 2. Give me something completely new.
With the sales that they had for Treasures, I don't think we're going to have a sequel for that one. So I think you're safe there.
Yeah, I think
they just didn't make it.
One off.
They didn't make it realize its full potential.
What is the full potential?
It played like a game that they were confused about what to do with monsters, and hey, let's turn this into something else. And this is what you got.
That's the problem when they totally swapped what they were making halfway through like that.
Yep.
They tried to salvage and. You only do so much, unfortunately.
It was too small. There weren't enough monsters. There wasn't enough things to do.
Yeah.
It was fun. Like when it first hooked me, like it was fun, but it ran out pretty fast.
Yeah, and then it gets problematic when you try and get 100% with like all the treasures and stuff, because it's so hard to actually be like, okay, well, this is going to really increase my chances to get something that I do not have at all.
Mm-hmm.
You start finding a ton of like our friend Blue, God bless her, she actually went through and got every single treasure. And then it's like, oh, did you get some reward? No. It's like, well, what a ripoff! I didn't get anything cool for doing it.
But with the monsters, you could get like the same monsters, but with a hat.
Yes. Or they like have weird tattoo stuff on them.
But it's got a new hat.
Exactly.
Pendy, what were you gonna? What's your hopes and wish?
So, as far as what I wish they would announce, but don't necessarily think will happen, I would love to see something for Dragon Quest 12. I'm not as optimistic that we'll see anything. At the most, I think we'll probably see the standard, oh, hey, we're working on it kind of thing. But I would love if they would do a trailer at this point, but I don't think that's going to happen either. But maybe just some screenshots or some character designs would be really cool. Like I think some other people mentioned, that would be nice. Just something besides like, oh, hey, we're still working on it, which we've gotten the last 2 or 3 years. But beyond that, I would love to finally see an announcement that they are remaking Dragon Quest 9. I think it's
Yes.
That's a hope and dream. Oh, yes.
I think it's well beyond the point that this should happen. It would be so cool to play this game again with updated graphics and online gameplay. Multiplayer. Yes, for tackling the post-game legacy bosses, among other things. Plus, it's a Slime Time podcast tradition to predict this kind of announcement that should be, any day now.
Yep.
We've only had to say that.
But
we've only been saying that for what, 6 years?
While they're out,
any day.
Dragon Quest 4 on a PlayStation.
So now, Pendy, I think you got some things working in your favor here, didn't they? I know there was supposedly bad blood between Squeenix and Level 5 years after that game, but that seems to be water under the bridge here. They celebrated the 10th anniversary of it a few years ago together with a joint press conference and everything, whatever. Level 5 kind of fell off the map for quite a while.
They did.
They're back. They Fantasy Life I is in early access right now. Early access or whatever. You get the preview 3 days if you pre-ordered it. Yep. But it's out. Like it's out. It's by the time someone's listening to this podcast, it's out. I mean, already after 1 day on Steam, it had over 1,000 positive reviews. So like it seems like they're kind of finding their groove again. They've got Leighton games scheduled for next year. Something else looked like some kind of yokai. I mean, it's not Yokai Watch, but there's some sort of yokai mansion game coming out. Like they've announced a lot of stuff, so maybe they're ramping up and could help out. I don't know if they'll be the ones to actually remake it, but or will Square hand that off to somebody.
Yeah, they got a lot cooking right now. I guess that's a good sign.
But you know what? I feel like Fantasy Life played so much like Dragon Quest 9 initially wanted to be with that.
Oh, I remember you saying that before.
Yep, multiplayer, lots of jobs, lots of stuff to do, action combat. Like it maybe now that they're done with their new Fantasy Life, that team could shift right into, hey, Dragon Quest 9 again. I hope they call it that. Dragon Quest 9 again.
Nice.
Or wait, Dragon Quest 9i? Oh.
What's the I stand for? I don't know.
I don't know.
But I remember when you and Liam resurrected Slime Time about 6 years ago, and in the first few episodes, you guys were like, "Oh yeah, there should be a remake of 9. It should be soon,
any day now.
Yeah,
any day now."
6 years later. Oh, so sad. But hey, something else I would like to see: Steam ports of the mobile game versions of 1 through 8.
Yes.
And yes, and if they do that, I would love to see that version of Dragon Quest VII finally come west. That version is basically the 3DS version, but with random battles instead of enemies on screen. So if they finally put those on Steam, that would be great. I would love to see that.
Now, why do you want the mobile versions? Why not a Steam port of a 3DS version?
He just said he wants random encounters.
Oh, no, I don't mean for 7. I mean for the other ones.
Oh.
Well, because those are like the current in-game market mobile titles that they have. So I think they should just be ported to Steam to make them even more accessible than they already are.
Yeah, and there are editions.
They're the newest edition that we have of those anyway.
Like Dragon Quest V on mobile has the monster magnet, which makes recruiting easier. But it also got rid of the what's it called? The basement and the knick-knackatory, where you can create your own knick-knack and share them with other people. Could you do it with? It wasn't Street Pass, but it was like the precursor to that.
Yeah,
I think they called it canvassing.
Yeah, well, that
canvassing. That was the tagging.
Yeah, DQ5 had something like that. You created your own knick-knack and gave it a name and shared it. And that was obviously cut from the mobile port.
Yeah, because Dragon Quest IV DS had that where it's like you made your own little village or person to send off to other pioneer towns. Then oddly enough, you could also choose Carver and that Florette gal from
Swords.
From Swords as your NPC. But you can still name whatever you want to.
Sally.
Sally Ford. That's her name.
There you go.
I wish there was a list of all the differences, because I would like to know what else the mobile ports with that would be. Getting a mobile.
I don't doubt there is some Den forum post about that somewhere.
Yeah, because they're not all like the definitive version of each Dragon Quest game, but they're all being currently sold. They're all out there right now. So I think it would be nice if they could also be on that other platform, just to make it more accessible. Because some people hate just playing those on their mobile phones, and that would appease those people as well. They could play it on their PC or their Steam Deck or whatever.
The mobile version of 4 is the only way you get party chat, unless you hack it.
Yeah.
Hey, and Square Enix has taken up the mantra of everything everywhere all at once. So why not?
Yeah, exactly.
They've hit Steam a lot recently.
I was surprised when they put Builders out on mobile a couple years ago. That was actually a Dragon Quest Day announcement from 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was put on mobile. I forgot all about that one. No, I was gonna say, with them putting 1, 2, and 3 on Switch, I'm surprised they never did that with the mobile versions of 4, 5, and 6. Since they did that release. I mean, I don't know, maybe the difference with architecture and making it, I don't know, all I jazz for the technical side of things. But I'm surprised that they didn't do that for 4, 5, and 6 now that I think about it, because it's been quite a few years since those 1, 2, and 3 versions were put out on Switch, and those are based on the mobile versions.
I want to say one of us tried to predict that for the last DQ Day.
Oh, I would bet that. Wouldn't surprise me. But I mean, the reason why we got 1, 2, and 3 on the Switch and Japan only got it for the 3DS and the PS4 was really only because of Dragon Quest 11, because those were they brought those to those different systems, because like in Japan they had like the memory system, especially for
because if you beat 11, then you could get something then would let you jump right into 1.
Exactly, it would give you 1 for free. And so because 1, 2, and 3 were related to 11, that's why they did that as like a bonus. Like, hey, we know they're related, so here we're going to put them on the systems that we put 11 out on as well. So but we in the West only got it on the Switch, and a lot of people thought like, oh, they 1, 2, 3 in the Switch, so they must be doing 4, 5, and 6. It's like, no, probably not. It's because they're only doing this because of 11. So that's why I never thought we were going to get that. I mean, it would have been nice, but yeah.
That makes sense. I didn't think about that with the whole tie-in to 11.
Yeah, I was one of the unfortunate things I missed about the version of 11 that we got, the vanilla version, where A, not getting the 3DS version, and B, not getting 1, 2, and 3 on the 3DS and the PS4. I mean, trophies. We're getting trophies for playing 1, 2, and 3. And like, if we had that memory system, then like I said, I think you have to beat like the Act 3. You have to beat the post game of the game, and then if you do, that rewards you with like, hey, here's Dragon Quest 1, and you were able to get that for free. But didn't get that. So
it's remarkably generous generous, honestly.
Yeah.
Free game.
Well, Ost, what about you? What would you wish for?
Well, we pretty much already talked about it. DQ5 HT2D would be like my holy grail wish. More somewhere in between realistic and over the moon announcement. I would really like to see another Fortune Street. It's been what year?
The 30th?
Yeah, well, even longer for in the West, but yeah.
Oh, for us, yeah, because we never got the 30th.
But yeah, the last one that's been
I
a
think
while.
the only one we got in the West was the one on the Wii.
It is, yeah.
So 2017 was the last one. PS4.
Yeah, because that was the one that had Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest characters in it.
Yes.
Yep.
But that was like a PS4 and like a PS Vita release, I think.
Yes, because I have the Vita version. You're right. I got the Vita with some sort of translation, kind of.
Yeah, I also
it may
have
just
that.
it might just be like the menu or something. It's
Emphasis
like not
on the
cards
kind
or
of.
anything. You can play.
Yeah.
And some things happen that you may not know about.
Shortly after that game came out, I was living in South Korea. I went to this series of stores that were all electronics, and I went into some game stores. I saw this huge Dragon Quest banner advertisement. I was like, oh, I guess Dragon Quest is in Korea now. And I went into this game store, and I was trying to see like what Dragon Quest games they had. They had 11 and a bunch of these others. And then I saw like, oh, they got the Fortune Street game. So even South Korea got the Fortune Street game, but apparently they didn't want to release it anywhere else. So that made me sad. I was like, oh. And what's funny is like it's called Itadaki Street in Japanese, but in Korean they use the name that we use. They use the Fortune Street name because I could read it in Korean as a Fortune Street. I was like, oh, that's weird that they use that other name because usually they go with the Japanese names, but not for that one for some reason.
It's weird, Pendy. That reminds me of I just told side story here, but when I had imported a physical copy of that Etrian Odyssey HD collection thing, it was from Korea, but when you opened up the game, the cartridge had the English logo and name on it where it's called Etrian Odyssey Origins Collection. And it's like, well, isn't that interesting?
Yeah. Yeah, you never know with some of these international releases what they're going to do.
Didn't they give like the Scan Battlers arcade game in like Malaysia, and it had like English monster names or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, the arcade game. Yeah,
because we interviewed Ugly Idiot about that. Wasn't that the name?
Yeah, we interviewed Ugly Idiot about it when he went to Malaysia and he played it.
There you go.
You could find videos of people of the company or the arcade promoting it on YouTube in English.
Wow, which means there are English cards out there.
Exactly. Not anymore, but at the time, yeah.
Maybe they're on secondhand stores. I don't know.
No, maybe.
Yangus, anything new you want to see? Pie in the sky?
Well, again, kind of just following up what some of you guys said, like I kind of think it'd be cool to see Dragon Quest 4 through 6 HD 2D announcement, or like, that's something maybe we want to do in the future. Maybe something that Yuji Horii gets the whistle blown on him for saying. That happened more.
Now that we've done the first three, we're doing the next three.
Yep. Well, I mean, he just got kind of in trouble for that recently when he was talking about, we're kind of working on an HD 2D for Chrono Trigger, and somebody had to come in really like, oh, no, that's not happening.
Which, like, kind of got maybe dispelled, but then he came out anyway and said, oh, that'd be something fun to do. So that whole story has gone.
It's one of those things where it's
like, no, it's a mistranslation. It was like, or is it?
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. With all the last few times that Yuji Horii spilled the beans, it's hard to tell. But
and the last time he said, hey, this would be fun to do was Dragon Quest 1 and 2, and that happened.
Yep.
So
I don't know. He's looked out for so many times, Western fans and fans, or any kind of, like, no matter where you are, he looks out for the fans. So
what will we find out in France? Hey, there's your Dragon Quest 7 mobile version on Steam. He'll tell the French people it's because of them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He and the guy in charge of Saga, they're like the two old guards at Square Enix now. So they're kind of like, whatever, we're going to say what we want to, and what are you going to do about it? But anyway, yeah, so I think that'd be kind of cool if they did at least said something about that. New, like kind of what Oz said, new Fortune Street would be cool. Maybe they bring back a Dragon Quest Mario kind of crossover thing for the Switch 2, something that comes down maybe this year, maybe next year, something like that. For really out there ideas, I'd love to see a Dragon Quest fighting game of some kind. And I want to, I've joked for years about like a cooking spin-off game where the Dragon Lord takes you under his wing to teach you how to cook and open a restaurant. I want to see that happen. I want to see that be a reality. Like, he's down there in the basement of Charlotte Castle all that time. He needs something to do. So why not open your own restaurant for monsters? And you can be his monster apprentice, like a little slime.
Let me tell you, I could probably give you 5 independent studios right off the bat they could license that to and get it made in a year.
It'd be so freaking funny. I would love that so much.
I want to play a cooking game. That sounds so much fun.
I know, it'd be great.
Yeah, they could do like a Luida's Bar game. That'd be great.
Blend that together. All right. Well, that's all, well and good. Our speculation is about a day coming up anytime now. We're talking about a week before Dragon Quest Day 2025 here. But, we've got another big anniversary coming up. We've got the 40th anniversary Dragon Quest coming up next year. Big one. Over the hill.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Back for the 35th anniversary, they did that famous or infamous global live stream with all the big announcements about 12 treasures, DQ3 HD 2D remake, etc.
Yeah, and then for back when they did the 30th, there was a traveling museum exhibition, the live stage show. The 25th had the Wii game collection. These 5-year things hit big.
Yeah. What do we think they might do for the 40th? So for my predictions, they did a lot of cool stuff, especially for the 30th anniversary, as we mentioned. And someone had mentioned this, that maybe they might do this for Dragon Quest Day as well. But I'm thinking for the 40th, is when they might do like some kind of special something for Sugiyama and Toriyama's passing. And I would bet they would do, some kind of big tribute to both of them. They did a museum exhibition for the 30th, so I would bet they would do something similar that has a bigger focus on Toriyama's art and Sugiyama's music.
Mm-hmm.
I could also see them doing a major update for Dragon Quest Island during this time as well. So far they've done the adventure in that park as Dragon Quest 3 themed and also Dragon Quest 4 themed for a while. If they finally do a Dragon Quest 9 remake, like I'm hoping and praying to the goddess for, maybe they'll make the park Dragon Quest 9 theme. That would be great. It would make sense, as in the past they made the change to the Dragon Quest 4 theme during the time that Dragon Quest Monsters Dark Prince was released. And way back for the 25th, as Platty mentioned, they did that Wii release of DQ1 and 3. It was ports of the original Famicom and Super Famicom versions. So it would be cool if they also did something like that for 4 through 6. Some sort of port of the original version of 4 through 6, along with the remakes that they did for each of them. In some cases, it's multiple remakes. So, then that'd be kind of crazy, but I don't know. And hopefully it would get released in the West this time, unlike that Wii port that they did. I bought a copy of it within the last year, and it was really nice. I bought like a used copy that I was able to find in one of my trips to Japan. And not only did it have the games in a standard Wii box, but there was also a fun book about the history of the games and interviews, along with a special pouch that you got with the mini medal. So that would be great to have for 4 or 6 as well, especially if we got it in English. What do you think, Platty?
Right.
What do you think they might do for the 40th?
I think along your lines, 40th is going to be big. And you know what? Kind of why I think we're going to get a little hint of 12 this time and like nothing else really. Why blow your wad on the 39th when you got the 40th coming up next year? You probably don't have anything in the hopper to release this year. You've got Dragon Quest 1 and 2. So there's really nothing else they're probably going to release between, this year and next Dragon Quest Day. So whatever else they got, save it for that 40th. Make the 40th the big one. And yes, I think you do it up big. I think either Builders or Heroes, you get another one of them. Dragon Quest 9, you have that. Ports together of 4 through 6, whether they're remaked or just optimized for modern consoles or something like that, yeah, you do that too. And then you have a new side game, whatever. Your cooking game, your dress-up game, your dating sim, your fighting game, whatever. So
Date the Demon Lord.
Yep, I think you know what, we hear a little bit about 12 this time, but next year it's like, hey, here's the date. It's going to be September 2026. It's going to be December 2026. And by the way, after that, look forward to this remake, that remake, and hope, hey, we're working on this new title and that new title. I think you get like 4 or 5 announcements, kind of like we did on the 35th. And that sets your roadmap through 2030 at this point, practically. That would be 2026. Yeah, they can give you a bunch of stuff for the next 4 years after that.
To jump in and add on to you there real quick, Platty, I almost think with, we're fortunate now that we've lost Sugiyama and we've lost Toriyama last year, that I'm kind of wondering if Yuji Horii kind of like, oh crap, something could happen to me. I could be next, and what's going to happen then? So maybe that'll be like the incentive to do all this kind of stuff you're talking, where they're just going to be like, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to get this all at the gate. I want to get as much out as I can, and God forbid something happens to me. Being as Yuji Horii being like, oh, I want to get all this done before, God forbid something happens to me next.
Yep. Yeah, set out a 5-year plan. I hope to be around in 5 years, but either way, here's the next 5-year plan I've sat down and at least talked to producers and directors about.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, here's what I want to do.
And hopefully we don't have another global pandemic to screw it all up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You will get an art book and you will be happy.
I saw that on your list. He's got 2 words, an art book.
That's it. That's the anniversary. Leave me alone.
You get the art book. There you go, kid.
Go crazy.
Go crazy. Have fun with that.
Featuring only artwork by Understudies.
Honestly, I would love to see Hori's artwork.
Oh god.
Like the little
yeah, let's get
the
some of his
concept
stuff
sketches.
together. Let's get some of his. I want to see that too.
It's like, this is what turned into that.
I've seen some of those.
Toriyama artwork. Everything that is not Toriyama related.
Yeah, because some of those ones that you see, like he designed, it's like, oh yeah, I can kind of see where this ended up leading to that. But then you get the ones that are the crazy left field difference. You know what, Jay? I want to see that too. Let's get a Yuji Horii art book.
Yeah.
So, Oz, what do you think that they might do for the 40th?
A new MMO.
Oh, kick him off the call right now.
That's what. You know what? If 12 ends up being an MMO because of you,
I don't think
13
it'll
will
be 12.
13 will be.
And
Dragon
I
Quest
don't think
13.
I don't think they'll release it on the 40th. I think that they'll announce it on the 40th.
Dragon Quest 13 for the PlayStation 6.
Yeah.
oh my god.
There you go.
It's so funny that panel in Sandland is probably going to become true because it was Dragon Quest 13 on the PlayStation 6. That's probably what's going to happen.
But think about it. That poor little Beelzebub, when he gets that, he's not going to have the internet connection to download the rest of the game because games don't come on discs anymore.
Oh, he's going to be so screwed.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Think about it.
It'll just be an unlocked disc.
Oh
This
no!
disc will start to download. Can't download
Oh
without
man,
the
he's
disc.
gonna be so sad.
Searching for Wi-Fi.
He's gonna get home and be like, "I can't wait to start." You can only get to this part of the game, and that's it.
This part of the game being the title screen.
Yeah, play this intro while the rest downloads.
Oh no! Oh boy.
Well, guys, I think we've predicted and hoped and dreamed enough for at least the next 2 years. So hopefully all of our champagne wishes and caviar dreams come true, and we don't get a bunch of shitty mobile remakes that never come here anyway. Or just mobile games that don't come here.
What's that? You want
Personally.
remakes of mobile games? Okay, Dragon Quest.
Oh, God!
Oh,
Dragon Quest Rivals HD 2D.
Okay, I'll take that. I will take that. I know you put 1,000 hours into it. I only did like 12, but I enjoyed what I played of it, and I didn't know shit what I was playing.
Neither did I. I can't.
I will take that Rivals. You know what? That's what we need. We need the standalone Rivals game. Like, just put it on a Mega Man's had one of these now. Other games have been, taken from the mobile and sold off as a single player option. Give me that.
Rivals did have a whole single player mode. They could just do more.
Yes,
of that.
it did.
Yeah, I really wanted that to come over. I like card games.
I've been playing Monster Train recently. That's been fun. And actually, I think this week Monster Train 2 releases.
I think it's tomorrow, actually.
There we go. Yep, I know it's coming out like this week. And yeah, my normal weekly gaming podcast, they did mention it coming out this week. And I'm like, oh, how convenient. I just started the first. I'll get to that one when it's 50% off in a couple years.
I'm probably going to buy
it. Has some DLC. Did you play the first?
I didn't play the first. I watched someone play it, and I'm like, ooh, this looks a lot of fun. And then I played the demo of 2. I'm like, yes, this is fun.
You know what? Why don't we have a Dragon Quest card game? Oh, we do. Rivals.
We did.
We did. Wow.
We did.
Yeah, my memory lasted all of about 30 seconds there. Like,
someone want to tell Platty what we were just talking?
Platty's the oldest one of us. I knew this day was going to happen.
He's going to tell Platty what he was just talking about.
He's got that dementia kicking in real bad.
When does Dragon Quest 11 come out? Damn it!
Around the same time Dragon Quest 4 does on the PlayStation.
Got it.
Where are we getting that Dragon Quest 11?
If only we had like a game where we could just play with the monsters in Dragon Quest. That'd be fun too.
And
with that, I think we're gonna wrap it up. That's all for this episode of Slime Time. Thanks, Austin, Jay, and Yangus for joining Pendy and me tonight.
Thanks for having us.
You're welcome.
But hey, we're a non-profit podcast. We won't lose your hard-earned gold with faulty predictions when we can offer you quality content for free. But if you do have some extra gold that's just completely burning a hole in your wallet, pouch, bottomless bag, hanging wall sack, or a treasure chest, and you would like to donate anything to a website that's been supporting Dragon Quest fans for over 25 years, stop by the Dragon's Den by clicking the link in the show notes. There are several ways to support the Den, including the affiliate links that don't cost you anything extra when making other Dragon Quest purchases.
We even have a Slime Time t-shirt that was designed by our resident artist, Dwayne. See the link for it in the show notes.
You can direct comments or questions for the podcast on X, Blue Sky, and Instagram at DQ Slime Time.
Join in tons of Dragon Quest discussion at the Dragon's Den forums or Discord, the Dragon Questers and Slime Time Facebook groups, and the brand new Dragon Questers Discord.
Please like, subscribe, and write a review for the podcast.
Dragon Quest Slime Time, sliming off.
This is Gertrude for Slime Time, reminding you all that you must complete your adventure.